Don't place a trade based on what you're seeing in this video because there is no guarantees of making a profit in the market. It takes you a long time to become a good trader. So this video here is just to educate you to become a much better trader. Alrighty, hey traders, I'm going to look at the markets today. Markets actually filled the gap today, which is really interesting. Obviously, we're looking at the markets right now. And if I let me just zoom this right in here. Let me bring up this chart right. I'll bring up this one right here and we'll be able to see it a bit more clearer. And as you can see, right, like looking at the Dow Jones Industrial Average chart right now, we can see if I zoom right in a bit more, we can see that there was a gap right here that needed to be filled, right? And as you can see, that's exactly what actually happened just recently on this pullback. So it was really interesting. Actually, there was a couple of gaps there, wasn't there? You can see here, there's a gap here. And then the gap there, that was filled there. Then it bounced up a little bit, and then it came back down and filled that gap and handled it sideways. And now we've come back down and found a bit of support through here. So it's really interesting to see what's actually happening with the Dow Jones right now. But on the overall picture thing, on this, so let's say the last, 3 months worth of chart here, if I erase everything off the screen here, I can see that there was a major level of support and resistance level through here. As you can see, resistance level through here and the resistance. We did have a short-term upward movement, and that's what started causing me to do bearish videos in the markets, which started saying to me, that's the reason why I started titling videos why I see more downside to come, and so on and so forth in the past. Right, so you have a low, higher low, and then the market started, and then higher low, we started rolling up, we started breaking momentum, and then this is when the market started to sell off. So as you can see too, guys, I want to point out one thing too with your trading. As you can see, sometimes things do go up, but they don't go straight up, makes sense? Or some things do go down. So this is one of the things that is really important. Say if the market runs up here, if I get into a trade here, sometimes it may do this, and then it'll start to do this. You know what I mean? Like sometimes it'll do that. Sometimes it'll just go like straight like that, which is awesome. And sometimes it'll spend a bit of time going sideways and then continue, right? That's sometimes how the markets work, right? It doesn't mean that the direction of the trade that you get into is wrong or you shouldn't have been in that trade if you do have a proven trading plan. But sometimes the market, you have a nice big down bar. Like for example, right? There was a trade that I did probably about 3 or 4 months ago where I got into it. It was a nice big down bar. The market had a little retracement through here. It doesn't mean the trade was wrong. And then about a week later, it started doing that, and it was a very nice profitable trade. I'm in a trade right now where we had a very nice big down bar, right? And then all we've gotten so far is something like this here, right? So I got in on this down bar through here, and all my analysis says within the next week, this should start to do this here. And obviously, I don't know, there's going to be still 10% of my trades that end up doing this and I get out for a loss and you know, who cares? Move on to the next trade, you know what I mean? But I'm just letting you know that that's sometimes how the markets work. And that's where like sometimes you're trying to get the direction every single day is quite difficult. But if you get the overall direction, then that's where it's most important through there. So the gaps looks like they're starting to fill, but we're starting to see a bit of a topping pattern through here. On a short term anyway, right? Because we had this resistance, and the market actually had this, as you can see, right, came down, found support and bounced off and took off. Now what happened is delete all for Dow Jones. Yes, let's do that. So what now what has happened is that we've actually broken through, right? Broken through, came back down to this level. So it'd be really interesting to see whether we do get back above this level through here on the Dow Jones. But as you can see, right, market came down, found support, bounced up, found support this day here, came back, rejected it this day, and now we've had a big selling down bar, and now we've retraced as well too. So I wouldn't take too much into the candle itself. Oh, look, it's a bullish candle and all that sort of stuff. I wouldn't worry about that stuff too much. Same for the S&P 500, but the S&P 500 is different. The reason why it's different is because we did have a nice upward movement, all right, up through there. Once again, this is when I started calling for a more of a downside movement to come. But as you can see, right, what happened with the S&P 500? We had what? We had also a gap here to be filled, and as you can see, right, today it came down and closed that gap, which as you can see, it took a bit of time, but it came down and closed that gap. And same for the Nasdaq as well too. Nasdaq also had a gap, which is right here, Actually, in fact, the Nasdaq hasn't closed its gap yet, which is really, really interesting. So, but as you can see, right, we had a nice upward movement, getting a nice small pullback. The Dow Jones is showing a bit more of a topping pattern more than anything else, but the Nasdaq and the S&P 500 right now, they're just showing just a nice pullback. If I bring it at the 6-month view, just a nice pullback in an overall big booming market. The Dow Jones, as you can see, a bit different, right? It's sort of meh, right? It's not really going anywhere. So it'd be really interesting to see what happens here, because normally the S&P and the Dow Jones are going hand in hand, but for the last 3 to 4 months, or last 2 to 3 months, the S&P and the Dow Jones have been decoupling, which is not normal. You go back in the past, right, and the Dow Jones and the S&P start to go hand in hand. So is the Dow Jones giving us a bit of a warning sign that things are not right in the markets right now, and then we're likely to start seeing a bit more downside? If we do, well, then this is going to be the key level. As you can see, this is going to be sort of the key level here, round about there. If we start to break these key levels here, then we could start to see some more downside that come out of it. So it'd be really interesting to see what actually happens through here. So leave a comment below, guys, in the chat box below, and let me know what you think. What's likely to come? Do you think that we're going to start to roll over here, or do you think that this is just a nice little pullback and a good bull market for this year, and we're likely to break up to new highs? Hey traders, thanks so much for watching my YouTube video. What I want you to do right now is I want you to head on down to Master Trader Lab, because in the brand new Master Trader Lab, you're going to learn the unknown but powerful secret pathways, chart reading strategies, 7-figure trading secrets, trading systems, millionaire mindset, and so much more to help you become a master trader without spending 15 years trying to figure it all out. Over the last 15 years of trading these markets, I've put everything that has made a massive difference to my mindset, to the chart reading, to everything you can think about to help you to become a much better trader, or what I call a master trader. So head on down to mastertraderlab.com or click on that very first link in the description. Go to that right now and grab your free trial to the brand new Master Trader Lab. Go do that right now.